It is each man's quest to find out who he truly is, but the answer to that lies in the present, not in the past, as it is for all.
Peace, peace. Now as a vibrate. It's some paradoxes that at some point has to be called out, you know, within our learning slash teaching circles, and you know what I'm saying, and just in general, of course, upon our own journeys, which trickle into our experiences with others. But it's the fact that, all right, if we know this is a simulation, we know this realm is like a matrix, and we know that a lot of, like, other than the universal laws, the 7 universal principles, hermetic principles, slash the Kabbalion slash Emerald Tablet, with those 7 universal laws, a lot of stuff in this realm is programming, in essence. Like, you're being told about certain stuff that you really haven't experienced or seen for yourself. You know what I'm saying? In the sense of, again, like, I caught the download that all these meteorites is really obsidians from volcanoes, and each area that most of these meteorites, quote unquote, landed in is close to a place that had, whether dormant or not, but has some type of volcano close to it. You know what I'm saying? So, and with that being said, if I would just follow the matrix code, that was already there, I would just continuously perpetuate that was meteorites. I had to tap into my own meditations and my own little vibe, and be brave enough to be able to share, to say, hey guys, because I feel like, there should be, for lack of a better word, like a scientist vibe of having, we'll call them theories, because of the fact that, intuitively, bringing things up intuitively is not considered fact unless you're Edgar Casey or other people, you know what I'm saying? But, and that's jokingly, I'm being sarcastic, but I say I'm being sarcastic, but, have to honor the fact that there are certain, theories are facts that, some of us are going to be channeling insight and dealing with things from a perspective that's not the regular programming. And again, in one sentence, we like, you creating your reality. What you focus on grows. You are a creator. You're a destroyer and a creator, so you break down worlds and create new ones. This is a dream world, this is a simulation, all that. And then at the same time, read this book and follow what it says verbatim. Read this book and follow what it says verbatim. When some of these books and information is well known, that a lot of this stuff was actually like, again, almost like spell work, to kind of be programming to keep a certain, whether it was to keep certain beings in power in this realm, or to keep certain perspectives or point of views in power, which is still like some type of spirit or being or something of that nature in power, some type of egregor, trying to keep a certain past egregor in power, so things never shift and change. You know what I'm saying? How could those things shift and change if, again, I'm just going with, and it's a balance to it. That's not to say that I'm not going, not going to read or not going to honor certain things as truth that comes from, books. But it is honoring the fact that, all right, I'm told like I have 7 chakras, but what if I go into a meditation and I see 100 of them? You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm not, and, and it's this subconscious, almost like blanket or net or like lockdown of like, oh, if I'm not this kind of person, you know, again, if I'm not Edgar Casey, I can't say that this is real. I have to be let's just say it, a non-melanated person for everybody to take this as true. You know what I'm saying? In that sense of it, you know what I'm saying? And again, and not saying that that's the mind frame that a lot of people have in essence, but to some extent, that's like the subconscious collective net, again, like that's subtly there. So no matter how much consciously we may say, oh yeah, we're creators and this and that, it's still a lot of following, the matrix code that was already there and following algorithms that was already put in place, with some algorithms put in place, again, other than the universal laws. I feel like some of this stuff needs to be questioned, again, like it's a fact that we could see the law of correspondence, the law of rhythm, the law of vibration, the law of cause and effect, the law that all is mine, and again, with that being said, if all is mine, then why am I constantly just following, certain book literature, because again, that's technically, matrix code and keeping a certain. Now, on a deeper level, just have to say it and expose it. I feel like, oh yeah, some parts of it, kind of keeps it. It's like a safety net, like to not just create a chaotic breakdown of everything all at once. Some of these things kind of stay in place, and is meant to slowly break down, and not just like rip the veil right off of it, in essence, and that depends on your perspective. Because if you're a chaos being, you want to just rip the veil. If you, let's just say, not even say if you're a chaos being, because all of us have a chaos energy. Whether you, and I say all of us, a lot of us have that ability to, what I'm saying, to destroy, create, or generator, operator, and destroyer. Let's just say it like that, what I'm saying? But, again, it's like politics. The beings that really love to just tear shit up without building, they want to just rip the veil off, while beings that's more about structure, like, hey, I want to keep things a little structured and, not just rip things from underneath everybody's feet on that level, like our not just all at once, kind of like method, how you say it, methodically, in essence, like have a certain method to it, but it's like definitely honoring the fact that, again, like you might channel some insight that's not in the book, and I speak on this strongly because I feel like, well, just me being me, not doing it because I don't see it, but that just really, sparks me to kind of keep, expressing this, because it's like, it's so much of a paradoxical contradiction in the essence of I'm a creator, I'm a creator, I'm a creator. And as I say that, because I don't want to, like as I express this, it's not to have no ego towards, like, that vibe of, those who may, talk about how much we create or how much, the subconscious does this or that in this realm, it's like, well, all right, if it is like that, again, like just being, real experimental with, and that's not for everybody, but, it's like that experimental aspect of spirituality and not really knowing something unless you experience it or seen it for yourself, you know what I'm saying? Because even with certain aspects of astrology, like, it's like, who's to say? And again, like, of course, we tapped into, certain connections with, again, like certain book information is the passing down of certain spiritual insight, you know, uh, and then in some cases it's just keeping certain, certain boxes over, over our energy in essence, you know what I'm saying? Again, some boxes is meant in order, again, like being in this bodysuit. The whole reason why you're speaking, talking, and having this experience is because to some extent you're boxed in. You talk about the hexagon, the hex, the 666, the carbon. Being in a melanated bodysuit, whether you got a lot of external melanin or not. You know what I'm saying? Neuromelanin. However that work. Not getting into the politics of that. You know what I'm saying? But you know, again, like it's certain, like just like I write, like the download where I realized, let's see, I won't be able to turn the camera around in this, but basically where I said and saw that, all right, it's only the numbers 1 through 9, so technically, the Capricorn, Aquarius, and Pisces zodiac sign don't really exist, or if it does exist, it's just a repetition of 1, 2, and 3. So Capricorn is like a Aries, Aquarius like a Taurus, and Pisces like a Gemini in essence. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's not no real, new numbers, because again, Capricorn, the 10th zodiac, in which operates a goat and a ram closely related. A Capricorn and the Aries energy is closely related, in the sense of ambition. As a matter of fact, that's why Aries, Mars, which is the ruler over Aries, is exalted in Capricorn, kind of like on some hint, hint, wink, wink, type of vibes, but, Capricorn being the 10th zodiac sign, Aquarius being the 11, which 11 adds to 2, and Pisces being the 12, with 12 adds to 3. Again, there's no such thing as no 10, 11, and 12. So how could those archetypes even exist? And hence why when you kind of get deep into it, in essence, it kind of has some vibes of again, the 1, 2, and 3 energy. Like, again, it stops at 9. In essence, that's probably, again, why the Sagittarius, deals with wisdom. You know what I'm saying? Wisdom, learning, spirituality, or occult insight, but just more so like just, that learning aspect and wisdom is because it's the last archetypical zodiac sign energetically, you know what I'm saying? Which is 9, it's the 9th zodiac, which is the last number. Everything after 9 is a repetition of 1, 2, 3, and 4, 1, 2, and 3. And plus there's no archetype past 1, 2, 3. And hence why 3, 6, and 9 is so important. Matter of fact, let me just it's like, and if I'm just following what everybody else said, then I'm not, y'all can see this. But like, again, like, and how it all add up, 1 plus 2 plus 3 add up to 6, 4 plus 5 plus 6 add up to 15, which add up to 6. 7 plus 8 plus 9, 24, which add up to 6. 6 plus 6 plus 6 adds up to 18, which adds up to 9. And then it's like, even showing, like, that's why I made the line showing the connection, and even why the number 3 looks the way it looks, because, again, like, it's 3. Like, 3, 3, and 3. Not 3 times 3 is 9, you know what I'm saying? So all it is the Trinity multiply, it's just that one Trinity, and then you got a second Trinity, which is 6, you know, and you got the third trinity, which is 9, or the 3 trimesters of being in the womb, you know what I'm saying? No coincidence that all these numbers, you know what I'm saying, or should I say all these connections with, you know, the number 9 and transformation, you know, because that's the last number. You can't go no further than that, you know what I'm saying? Until we discover that there's some numbers other than, you know, 1 through 9, you know, it's some type of other code that been hidden from us, or, you know, we find out that, you know, like 1 through 9 is only the code for this particular simulation or matrix, you know what I'm saying? And not the whole universe as a whole. But again, that would deny the law of correspondence, as above, so below, as within, so without. Even if this is a simulation, what goes on in this simulation, or this, you know, this part of the whole universe is still connected to the whole universe. You know, it's still an example of what goes on in the whole universe, you know what I'm saying? So, you know, we have to say that the law of correspondence isn't real if we say that, you know what I'm saying? But again, it's just all the Trinity, you know, the Trinity repeated. And I think it's trigonal. Most trigonal crystals are piezoelectric. You think trigonal, that's tourmaline. Tourmaline is piezoelectric. And, you know, hexagonal with quartz piezoelectric. You know, no coincidence, you know. And of course, we got to be aware that it's a balance. It shouldn't be just extreme electricity, you know, extreme masculine energy. You know, it should have some magnetism or some other feminine energy in there as well. But, you know, see all these correlations. But just simply put, you know, because we could go in on all kind of different little, you know, it's just a example to bring up, like, you know, again, like, what's the conclusion or the closure to this video is, you know, being aware to really, you know, question what's in books already, and honor the fact that, you know, just be aware to not just go along and regurgitate certain little esoteric, occult, spiritual notions, and, you know, little notions from, you know, books and stuff like that automatically when it's not fully tested, you know what I'm saying? And we're not really fully questioning it, you know what I'm saying? You know, we might question it on surface level type of vibes, but not on a deeper level, you know what I'm saying? So it's like really, you know, and that's that Uranus and Sagittarius energy, you know what I'm saying? Like that eccentric, unconventional way of tapping into wisdom, and not just going along with, you know, what already has been, you know what I'm saying? Like, you gotta question in some way, form, or fashion. You wanna play fetch? Gotta question. Because again, we know for a fact that a lot of books and a lot of insight, you know, came into play as again, almost like a programming language in the matrix, you know. And again, some aspects of this matrix is to, you know, create confusion and create attachment to this realm, you know what I'm saying? And neither good or bad, right or wrong, you know what I'm saying? Because again, I don't want to get into that vibe either of like, oh, the matrix is extremely bad or as good as neither, you know. It's neutral, is, you know, it's not the end all be all for us, you know, but it's still neither just good or just bad, you know what I'm saying? Again, literally like a situation of being locked up in jail, you know, some person to tell you, hey, being locked up in jail was the best thing that ever happened to me. You know, I learned a lot about myself, and when I got out, you know, I was able to do this, that, and the third, you know, while other people might you know, be like, man, fuck jail. I ain't see nothing that I got out of it. You know, it was all bad. You know what I'm saying? You know, but again, you know, it's positive and negative and everything. Even though sometimes it's tough to see the positive and negative, you know, the positive and negative in everything. You know what I'm saying? But again, not gonna go too deep into that. Just sharing to question the, you know, the status quo in spiritual information and spiritual books and things that, you know, that came before you. You know, again, if I do a meditation on somebody's energy field and I pick up that, you know, they got some hip chakras, you know what I'm saying? Oh, you know, they got some hip chakras instead of you know, like instead of just a sacral chakra, you got some hip chakras too, where you got, you know, like again, but if I'm just going along with, oh, you know, the 7 chakras in this book, you know, that talk about how to work with my 7 chakras, and, you know what I'm saying? Or I just go off of what, you know, because that's why even again, like I sit before you and say question shit that I bring up, you know, and there's no knock to, matter of fact, I ain't even gonna bring up no authors' names per se, but you know, like the popular crystal books, you know, oh, well, you know, so and so said, you know, because I know of 2 authors, you know what I'm saying, where it's like, oh, you know, well, this book, you know, or that book. And again, that's not to, cause like with, you know, reading certain books and stuff, I could pick up, like, you know, what spirit let me know, you know, my inner being let me know, like, yeah, this part is, you know, it has some truth to it, you know. But then there's certain stuff that's just like continuing, like, you know, a certain program. And again, certain things are meant to, you know, to maintain structure to some extent. You know what I'm saying? But yeah, definitely gotta question certain things, you know. But peace, happy now. Now is the vibrate. Not too far in the future, not too far in the past. Right now, because again, with all this information coming in, let me leave on that. With all this information just being blasted in this flood, you know, you gotta get in your ark. You know what I'm saying? You gotta get on your Noah shit. You know what I'm saying? Which that was one of the last stories. Because even with that, but you know, with this flood of information, you know, and being able to, you know, again, that's why self-knowledge is so important, and tapping in with ourselves is so important, you know, because again, you know, you never know how much, you know, you may be bringing forth, you know, information and insight that change, you know, even some of the elders' perspectives about spirituality and, you know, esoteric, occult information in essence, you know what I'm saying? But, yeah, peace. Y'all know what it is. Not too far in the future, not too far in the past right now.